We're going to play this game right. No speaking out of turn until you're called on. I know everybody here wants to get all uptight and tense about this property, and this matter, we're not doing it. This is a low-key thing. It always has been. I'm not playing this game. I'm not part of your games. I'm not getting involved. Is that clear? And I do accept an answer now.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. This is case ZAH 2008-04, 7419 Warren Avenue, a public hearing to seek approval to structurally alter a structure by altering the roof to create dormers. Notice the public hearing was published in the Forest Park Review on December 17, 2008. Also, notice was mailed as required and a sign was posted in the front yard. I'm going to open the hearing and enter the materials into the record for the case known as ZAH 2008-04, and I'm placing the following materials into the record: the preliminary report, zoning application, photos of the property, and the platted survey. Okay, all those who would like to speak, would you please raise your hand at this time? Right hand. Is there anybody from the audience who would like to ask a question?
Yes. Question, and I'd like to also pass out some documents here.
And Steve, if you would state your name and address.
Stephen Backman, 7452 Warren.
Okay.
Now, permit was applied for to do the work on the 16th, and it was issued on the 19th. So I'm assuming that, in most cases, the only permits I've ever gotten on the spot were a dumpster permit. So I was assuming that the building department checked out the requests that were made by Cherryfield at the time. The requests on the building permit application.
Is this relevant to the request for zoning relief?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
7419, they wanted to replace roof, repair dormers, new windows, and siding. So that was the permit as it was issued by the building department.
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes checking on the internet, you had 3 days, 5 minutes checking on the internet, I was able to pull up the house in Google Maps, and all these maps were taken early in 2008. And I think you'll see no dormers to repair.
Mm-hmm.
So what exactly did the building department do in the 3 days that it had to inspect the job and issue the permit?
My senior building inspector is the one who reviewed the permit application and processed it.
And he works for you, so
that's correct.
What exactly happened in those 3 days?
As far as I know, he reviewed whatever was submitted and applied for.
There was no dormers to repair. So.
Are you wanting to enter this as
sure,
an
that's
exhibit?
fine. Exactly. That's your copy. So if there were no dormers to repair, then what exactly is happening here? If your inspector had followed protocol, we would have all been here 3 months ago. I would say we would be here for an October 2008 hearing. He would have gone out and seen no
Okay,
dormers.
are you questioning actions of the building department, or are you questioning the petitioner in regards to zoning relief?
Whoever wants to answer the question.
You are here to ask questions about the specific zoning relief of the petitioner.
Right.
The building department is not under scrutiny or public hearing for this matter. So if you'd like to question the petitioner.
I see exactly what's happening here is the building department did not go out and check the property to observe that it was legal non-conforming. They didn't even check to see if there were dormers to be repaired. So had they done their job, we would have been here in October.
Do you have a question relative to the zoning relief?
Yeah, how did this happen? Why are we meeting in January instead of
We're
October?
meeting now because the zoning relief was never obtained when the work was done by Mr. Hosty's contractor.
Okay, but it still all falls to you to do the job.
And that's why we're sitting here.
Yeah, but why weren't we here 3 months ago? That's my question. You have not yet answered it. The building department, the permits, go out and inspect the job, and then make a call and say, aha, this is a job for the zoning administrator, let's have a hearing.
Well, that'll be a personnel matter that I'll have to look at and deal with. It is not a public hearing matter because that's not pertinent to the specific relief being sought. Do you have a question regarding the specific relief being sought, the criteria for that specific relief being sought?
My question is still the same. You know, if you're not going to answer it, that's fine.
There's no
As far as I
answer
know,
because it's
you've
not
always
pertinent.
told me you're the top guy, that all these people report to you. You're the rules guy. I've heard you quoted that a couple of times. So my question goes unanswered. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anybody else who'd like to ask a question?
Gloria Backman, 7452 Warren Street. Mike, I have a simple comment, and we have commented before in some of these ZAH hearings, so I hope you'll be kind enough to hear me out.
Sure.
Thank you. You know, we're pointing the finger at Cherry Field. Perhaps he did what Mark is saying he did. He's not here to comment, okay? But what I'm seeing and have seen over many years throughout these processes is a lot of inconsistency. And I'm fearing that the process smells kind of foul. I mean, we see some people who skate through the process. We see some people who jump through hoop after hoop. You see some people who the hoops change sizes throughout the process. And as somebody who has lived in this town for 20 years and intends to stay in this town and still see some development coming through, that is a big concern to me. And again, I don't know who's right, I don't know who's wrong, but the way it's coming across to citizens is inconsistent. People question bias. I don't want to say incompetency because we've worked with a lot of people in your department personally and have had a lot of good encounters with many of your employees, even prior to your presence here in the village. But, you know, it's just not looking good. And I just feel it was important to share that with you.
Okay, so you have no questions or
I have
particular
no
comment
question
about this matter?
Specifically, just that it's not smelling good. Thank you.
All right, does anybody else wish to comment? Ask a question? Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions? Okay. Petitioner has already turned in his questionnaire responses to the standards for variations questionnaire that we use, and those were incorporated in the report. Looking at this matter, the zoning relief sought is no different than the zoning relief sought on virtually every other zoning relief matter that we have, where a property is located closer than required to a required side yard, and they want to make a minor structural alteration to the building. They have to get permission from the village council in order to do so. And every one of these we've gone through so far, they've all been like matters. So, as in the ones before, I am going to recommend approval of the requested zoning relief for ZAH 2008-04. That report will be prepared, and a report and ordinance will be forwarded to the village council at the next meeting. If there is nothing further bearing on this matter, I close the hearing for ZAH 2008-04, 7419 Warren Avenue. And if there is nothing further, this meeting is adjourned.